Hi all. In the last class we have discussed the derivative of tangent vector field x on an n surface S with respect to a vector v tangent to S at p belongs to S. So that means we have discussed del v, this is the vector v of the vector field x. That means that this is the derivative of the vector field x on an n surface S. That means this x is defined on S with respect to vector v in the tangent space of S at p. That means this v belongs to Sp. Okay, so for any v belongs to Sp, we can define the derivative of this x. This x is the vector field defined on S. We have discussed this using a parameterized curve alpha from I to S with the property that alpha of T naught is equal to P for T naught belongs to the domain of S, and this alpha dot T naught will give the tangential vector. So this is the way we or this is the things we need to define this. Later we could show that this del Vx is independent of these things. Okay, we can choose any arbitrary alpha with these properties, then that will give the derivative of x with respect to v. Anyway, this will not in general be the tangent to tangent vector to S. Okay, so that means since this as this x is tangential vector field, but this del Vx need not be a tangential vector field on S. But as we discussed in the covariant derivative case, we can define the covariant derivative of x with respect to v. That means the covariant component of this. That is in the direction of tangent space. That means if we define a d v, this v is our vector v of the vector field x defined to be the tangent component. That means if we consider this derivative del v x, this is our del Vx minus, we remove the normal component of this quantity, so that will be in the tangential component, tangential direction. So we remove that normal component, that is to be del v of x, this is our x, and take the dot product with n of p times n of p. Okay, so this will give the tangential normal component of this del Vx. When you remove that from this del Vx, then the remaining will be in the direction of or in the tangent space. So this dVx is in the tangent space. So this dVx is called covariant derivative. Okay, covariant derivative of the tangent of the tangent vector field x with respect to the vector v belongs to Sp. So that is in the direction of, that is in the tangent space of S at p. Okay, now this by definition this can be written as dv of x is equal to this x. By definition this can be written as composition alpha prime T naught. Okay, where this alpha is from I to S with the property that alpha alpha of T naught is equal to P and alpha dot T naught is equal to the corresponding V. So this is what we call the covariant differentiation of this the tangent vector field x along a vector along the vector V in Sp. Okay, so this is the this is in fact the tangential component of this usual derivative, this del Vx. In the last class, we have discussed three properties of this del Vx. The same three properties can be assumed for this covariant derivative as well. That means, please do it an exercise. When you replace this del Vx in the previous three properties by this dVx, then those properties will hold for this dVx as well. So, please do it as an exercise. Now we will study the rate of change of the normal direction n on an oriented n surface S in Rn plus 1. That means for P belongs to S and V belongs to SP, we consider the derivative del Vn, and we also prove that that is always tangent to S. So the first aim is to get this del Vn, that means the derivative of del V means this derivative defined using del in the direction of V of the normal vector field. Okay, so this is our normal vector field defined on a surface, and we will prove that this belongs to the tangent space. That means this is tangent. This is tangent to S. Okay, so that means we will prove that this del Vn and this is del Vn. Del Vn, n is the normal vector field dot this n. Okay, n of P, del V n of P, and this n of P will be orthogonal. That means we will prove that this is equal to 0. That is using the norm of the normal vector field. We start with this. We know that if you consider a consider a vector field x of P, and this defines a constant, or if we consider this as x of P is equal to n dot n, and we know that this is 1 anyway, this is norm n square. So we know that this norm n square is always 1. Then we can say that del V of this is equal to 0. Okay, so since this is a constant, so we start with that. 0 can be written as del V for any V, del V of 1 is equal to 0. That means if we replace this 1 by the norm square of n, that is equal to del V of n dot n. Okay, if you replace that 1 by n dot n, you can get that is equal to, by definition or by the properties of this n that we have discussed in the last class, del V of n, we write it as n, it's a normal vector field, dot n of P plus n of P dot del V, okay, del V of n. Okay, now this is nothing but the del V of a dot product of two vector fields. So we use this one, and this is nothing but 2 times. We can consider this as 2 times del V n dot this, because this dot product commutes, so we can write it as this is equal to n of P. So which shows that n of P and del V n are orthogonal. Okay, since this n of P is the normal to the tangent vector field or tangent space, then this del V n is always in tangent space. That means del V n is tangent to S. So which shows that if we choose a vector V, if you start with a vector V belongs to SP, implies the same thing, the same del V, the same derivative with respect to the same V of n is a normal vector field for that, is always in SP. That is what we have proved here, because this is orthogonal to this n of P, which is normal. That means this is tangential. So using this idea, we can define a linear map that collects the del Vn, the rate of change of the normal vector field corresponding to V. So this would help us to define a linear map from SP to SP, the tangent space of S at P to itself defined by LP of any V. Any V belongs to SP. The image is minus del V n. So using this idea, we define a map. Okay. Then using the properties of this del Vn, you can easily prove that LP of V plus W. Okay. V plus W is equal to LP of V plus LP of W. Okay. So this is because we know that this LHS is equal to del V plus W of n. This is same as by the property we can say that this is del V of n plus del W of n. So using this idea, you can say that this LP of V plus W is equal to LPV plus LPW. The similar fashion, you can write this LP C times V is equal to, by definition, this is del of C times V of n. Okay, by definition, this is n, that is equal to this is by definition, this is del this is the rate of change of, that means del can write as C times del V n. Okay, so which shows that this is equal to C times LPV. So these two things can be verified using the properties we have discussed in the previous class. We have discussed three properties: del V of x plus y is equal to del Vx plus del Vy. Similarly, del V of fx, that is a scalar function. If we replace that scalar function by a constant function, f of any p is equal to c for all p. If you define that f in this manner, you can easily get these things. Okay, that is del V of fx equal to del Vf x of p plus f of p times del Vx. Okay, in that formula we can get this del V. By definition, this del V f will be 0. Okay, so using that idea, we can say that this is same as del C times Vn. If this is constant, that is a constant scalar function, then you can get that is C times del Vn, that is C times LPV, which shows that this LPV, that means that defined to be the minus del Vn, that is always a linear transformation from SP to SP. Okay, so this linear transformation is called Weingarten map. Okay, this is what we called Weingarten map. Okay, this is Weingarten map, and we will use this map, this Weingarten map, to study the rate of change of normal vector field as we move along this V, the direction of V. So if you have a surface like this, when you move along this direction, we can get a LP of V if this is V. If we move along this direction, if this is our V, both are the tangent, both are in the tangent space of S at this point. If we have move along this way, we use del V, del LPV in this direction, and if we move along this way, we will consider the LPV in that direction. So this measures the rate of change of the normal vector field as we move through P along or in the direction of V. So this helps us to study the curvature or curviness of a surface in Rn. The geometric meaning of this LP can be seen from the formula that we have used this thing del V of n. This n is equal to, by definition, this is n composition alpha dot at t naught. Okay, so this alpha is a parameteristic curve from I to S with the property that alpha of t naught is equal to p and alpha dot of t naught that is equal to V, the vector at this V is from SP. Okay, so in fact this LP V measures the rate of change of n using this. This is the rate of change of n with respect to V. Okay, so as we since this tangent space, that means as we move along this alpha, at the point P, we can consider we are moving through this P along in the direction of V or along the direction of alpha. We can get this, since the tangent space S alpha of t, this is the tangent space S alpha of t to S. So this is tangent to S. At alpha of t, we consider this tangent space as n of alpha of t perpendicular. Okay, so this is the tangent space at alpha of t. So we, in order to consider the rate of change of this n of this normal vector field, indirectly we can consider the rate of change of the perpendicular of this n of alpha of t. That means the tangent space as well. Okay, in that means since the tangent space S alpha of t to S at alpha of t is just the perpendicular of this normal, the tangent space turns the normal n, the tangent space turns as the normal n turns, and so this LPV can be interpreted as a measure of turning of the tangent space instead of turning the normal vector field, because whenever normal vector field turns, then the corresponding tangent space also turns. That means by not considering this and the turning of n of alpha of t, we directly consider the turning of the tangent space as alpha of t. This is the tangent space at alpha of t to measure the curviness of the surface. That means in fact this LPV collects the anyway indirectly collects the turning of the tangent vector space using this tangent vector field or tangent space without we are not considering this del Vn right now. We directly consider the turning of the tangent space S alpha of t when you evaluate this LP of P. So in that sense, we can consider this LP contains the information about the shape of S. Okay, in fact, that collects the rate of change of normal vector field. We consider using that using the rate of change of normal vector field, we can get a measure of the rate of change of tangent space. Okay, in that sense, we can say that LP contains information about the shape of the surfaces. For this reason, LP is sometimes called the shape operator. So this LP is called shape operator. Okay, so this is very important, shape operator. So we sometimes we can expect a question that prove that shape operator is linear. So that means this LP is linear. That is the meaning of that question. So please note this name, shape operator. LP is also called shape operator. You also need to note that how to evaluate this minus del Vn. That means this LP of V that is equal to minus del V of n. This can be calculated using the formula minus at the point P. This is the del V n1 using the components of n, del V n1 etc. Del V n plus 1. So these are the components of this normal vector field n. Here this n is constituted using the components n1 etc. and n plus 1. This is n plus 1 components. Using those n plus 1, the directional derivative of those n plus 1 components along V, we can get the LPV. So this is where this can be written as this is equal to minus P comma del of n1 tilde of P etc. Del n plus 1 tilde of P. This is dot V here. Here also we have dot. So that means this n1 is nothing but the restriction of this smooth normal vector field component n1 prime, n1 tilde. Okay, so these are the this should be smooth in order to get this one. So we consider this n1, n2, etc. as the smooth vector field. That means the restrictions of smooth vector field n1, n1 tilde, n2 tilde, etc. N plus 1 tilde. So this is the way we find the value of this LPV as far as the problems are concerned.